This video is based on the price prediction and technical analysis of the Hong Kong index, which we also refer to as HK50 and HSI. And what we'll do is identify the market structure, market patterns that we should be focusing on, in addition to key levels and candlestick patterns that we should be paying attention to. To add to that, we'll also look at areas at which we may potentially look for buy and or sell opportunities. And what we'll do is start off on the monthly chart and work our way all the way down to about the H4 chart. And yeah, without wasting any further time, guys, let's get straight into the actual technical analysis. And as I said, at this point in time, we are indeed on the monthly chart. And on the monthly chart at this point in time, we can see that the market had given us this double bottom over here, with this area over here being the first leg and this area over here being the second leg. And it also has a neckline around here somewhere, and this tells us that ideally, as I always say, we want to see price do this and push all the way up to around this level to complete this W structure or W formation, right? However, just note that at this level over here, at this point in time, is a very strong level of resistance, as we had multiple rejections at that level. And as much as I'm saying that I want to see price do this, right, we may potentially see a situation where the market actually moves all the way up to this point, and at that point, because it's a very strong level of resistance, we may again see the market move further down to around here. And that is also because we have these W formations, and as I always say, whenever we have these W formations, a lot of traders and investors actually buy at that point, and they place their stop losses just below, which tells us that we have a lot of money stuck here in the form of stop losses, and it is quite possible that price may push all the way down to here to trigger all of those stop losses, right? Anyway, what else do we see in regards to the monthly chart? Another thing that I see that is also very much important is the fact that we have this candlestick over here, and it is a bullet candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick. And it tells us that at the top where that wick ends, we have a lot of money there, right? And price may still head up at least to that point to trigger some of that liquidity, right? Anyway, from here, I'm just going to head down to the weekly chart, and here we are on the weekly chart. And again, just to recap, remember that on the monthly chart, we mentioned that we have this huge W formation, and that it has a neckline somewhere up there, right? And ideally, we want to see price at least head up to the neckline to give it a test, right? But here we are on the weekly chart. What do we see? On the weekly chart, we also have what seems to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern here, right? And it has a neckline there, and we saw price breaking to the upside of that neckline, and then coming back to the neckline to give it a test. And at this level over here, in my very humble opinion, is where I believe we should have looked for potential buy opportunities, right? I actually just want to add my neckline. This would be my neckline, and also a very strong level of support for this inverted head and shoulders pattern that I speak about over here, right? And also I want to utilize Fibonacci just to see if the neckline actually aligns with any key numbers that we have in regards to the tool. And there we go, we can see that the neckline, which is over here, right, of this pattern, which is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, aligns with, we could say, the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, and that adds as confluence that indeed we should have bought at this point, right? We should have bought at this point, in my very humble opinion. And that is because, as I said, guys, we have confluence. Number one, remember, we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern. Number two, we had price come back to the neckline to give it a test. Number three, we have this level over here being also a very strong level of support. And number four, the very same level aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, right? So what we would have done is we would have added a channel in this manner, right? And we can see that price has also now broken this channel, and in my very humble opinion, this points to us possibly buying at this level, as the anticipation is for the market to move further up, and at the very least to around here, right? Right. And again, guys, I'm just speculating. and I'm just showing you some of the possible outcomes that we may encounter in as far as HK50 is concerned, right? Anyway, from here I'm just going to head down to the daily chart. Here we are on the daily chart, and again, to recap, remember on the weekly chart we said that we have this huge pattern, which is this inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we said price came back to the neckline to give it a test, and that at this point is where we should have looked for potential buy opportunities. To add to that, we also have this channel which has been broken, and what may possibly happen is that price, as I said, may continue to move further up, right? Anyway, here we are on the daily chart, and let's just zoom in a bit and see what's happening. So on the daily chart, before we continue, I'm just going to add my daily channel as well, and for now I'm going to add my daily channel in this manner. Just bear with me. Let's see. So for now, there goes my daily channel. There we go. And yeah, so here we are on the daily chart, and on the daily chart we have another inverted head and shoulders pattern, right? Don't confuse this pattern over here with the bigger inverted head and shoulders pattern that we have over here, which has a neckline there, right? So it too has a neckline around here somewhere, as you guys can see, and I'm just gonna add my neckline as well, as it is very much important. There we go. And remember also that it is a very strong level of support as well, and what may possibly happen is, because price came back to the neckline to give it a test, we may see the market actually bounce off of this area and then continue to move further up. Again, I'm going to utilize Fibonacci just to see if we have confluence and confirmation, and let's have a look. And in terms of Fibonacci, we can also see that the neckline, which is here, aligns with, we could say, the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, and that adds as further confluence in as far as looking for potential buy opportunities goes, right? However, there seems to be a bit of a problem, and that problem is that as much as we have on this particular chart this inverted head and shoulders pattern and price coming back to the neckline to give it a test, and the anticipation is for the market to continue to move further up, just also note that, let me just actually zoom in, just also note that we have what seems to be another smaller double top here, which equally has a neckline there, right? And just like with W formations, whenever we have these double tops, we want to see price closing sufficiently below the neckline, come back to the neckline to give it a test, and at that point is where we may see the market actually move further down, especially if the neckline aligns with any key numbers in regards to Fibonacci. So what am I saying? So what I'm saying at this point in time is that we have a conflict or some contradictory information. Yes, our bias is to buy. However, as I said, we have opposing structures. We have this inverted head and shoulders pattern. To add to this, we have this double top over here, which has a neckline there. And what may happen is price may head all the way to that point, and at this point we may potentially see the market actually move further down, especially also because now we also have this channel, if you can just draw it properly, which has been broken. I hope you guys can see that this channel has been broken to the bottom side, and that also adds as further confluence and as far as looking for potential sell opportunities go at this point, right? So as I said, we have contradictory information, and buying or selling within, in my humble opinion, this block over here is going to be very tricky, right? Buying or selling is going to be tricky. I'm just going to add my neckline for that double top or M structure as well, right? But as much as I'm saying all of this, guys, just to zoom out, just remember that on the weekly chart we spoke about this huge, right, inverted head and shoulders pattern. We said price came back to the neckline to give it a test, and the anticipation is for the market to move further up, right? That's the bigger structure on the weekly chart. And then, as I said, on the daily chart, which is this one over here, we have the smaller head and shoulders pattern. Price went up, came back to the neckline again, and the anticipation again is for the market to move further up. However, as I said, we also have a smaller M structure here, which has, if I can just draw it properly, which has a neckline there, and we may see price move further down, right? So it is possible also that price may bounce off of this area only to continue to move further up to violate this particular M structure over here, right? But Having said that, it's going to be tricky in as far as buying or selling within this region over here, right? Anyway, from here I'm going to head down to the H4 chart, and here we are on the H4 chart. And again, this M structure is better visible, right, on the H4 chart, right? And as I said, it has a neckline there, and price came back to this level to test a very strong level of support, which is the neckline also of that inverted head and shoulders pattern that we spoke about on the daily chart, right? So at this point in time, what I would do is let me just zoom in. I would actually add a channel here. I would add a channel here, more or less like this, on the H4 chart, and we can see that the H4 chart is in a downward trajectory or a downward trending market. There we go, right? And what I would do is I would wait for price to actually, before buying, close above this channel. I would wait for price to close above this channel. Once that happens, I will potentially look for buy opportunities. Also, keep in mind that the structure has been, if I can just mark it, the structure has been violated to the bottom side, has been broken to the bottom side. To add to that, we have this opposing structure, which is a double top or an information, and it has this level over here, which is a very strong level of resistance. And as much as I'm saying that I'm going to look for potential buy opportunities, bear in mind that price may only head up to here, right, which is a very strong level of as I said, resistance, and the neckline of that double top, right? Price at this point again may potentially move further down to here to give it a test again, or even here again to give it a test. And at this point is where we may potentially again look for buy opportunities, right? And I'm not saying that we should buy, I'm saying that we may look for potential buy opportunities, right? But in conclusion, just to zoom out and just to head back to the weekly chart, remember on the weekly chart, right, we have this bigger structure which has a neckline there. The neckline is also a very strong level of support, and price came back to this level, and the very same area aligns with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level, and the anticipation is for the market to move further up, at least to this level, right? And more long term, I expect price to at least come to these levels over here. I hope you guys can see that, right? So that's my analysis in as far as the HK50, and yeah, that's it. Just be careful in as far as buying over here, as it is quite possible that price may head again to here, only to move further down to here to give it a test again, and then possibly to here again to give it a test. And at these 2 points is where we may potentially look for buy opportunities.